Hey guys, so I'm back. So we're going to talk today about two juicy rebuttals when it comes to being someone who is pro-choice, who's approached by a pro-lifer, and what they typically will bring up. So the most common rebuttal against the pro-life stance is rape and incest, right? And we hear this a lot. Nobody is interested in the fact that most abortions are done on babies that were not conceived in rape or incest, right? Most abortions, 99% abortions are between 90 and 99% are being done on babies that were conceived in consent, okay? These are consensual conceptions. And the number of rape and incest abortions are few and far between. However, this is 99% of the basis of why most people are in favor of keeping abortion legal. Just in case a kid comes about as a result of a rape or an incest, they want that option to be able to terminate the child if indeed it was conceived this way, right? Why is this wrong? This is wrong because now we are saying that the manner of your conception determines your value. In other words, if you are a product of rape, then the conception is just not that important anymore. Now it's something we can discuss. What if we didn't know that the person was raped? I mean, weird things happen, right? So like there's kids that were conceived in like comas, right? Like the woman is in a coma. That would be something where she didn't know. You know, she could have thought that she was pregnant when she fell into the coma, not that she got pregnant during the coma. And it's not until after the kid is born, is DNA tested, comes to find out the father of that child is not her husband. Now is he irrelevant? Okay. What about test tube babies? What about in vitro, right? These are all randomized conceptions. These are not traditional conceptions, okay? For you to say that because the conception was imposed on the woman, that entity has lesser value, that's discrimination. So you see, well, just say that that's pretty harsh, you know? This girl is abused and ends up conceiving a kid that she's forced to carry that kid and have a child. Yeah. Okay, so I'll give you a couple more examples. Now, this is true. So I was in Miami, and I was handing out flyers to the students at FIU. And there was a cute little couple that came over, and they're like, wow, you know, like, what's going on here? So we had these huge displays talking about Genocide Awareness Project, right? And I was just helping out. I wasn't a member of the group that came down to our campus to talk about this, but I wanted to help. I wanted to pass out flyers and get people involved. So they came over to talk, and I was like, well, you know, we're talking about abortion so, you know, expressively and graphically because we do feel like this is a genocide, and it's just ignored because it's silent, but it's still a genocide. And I said, that's a bit much. And I said, well, why isn't it a genocide? And she's like, well, because, you know, it's a little thing. It's not really, you know, a human being. And you know, all the traditional arguments against the reasons why abortion should be banned. She's like, you know, it's not a baby, you know, blah, 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 blah. And so we kind of just kept talking, you know, kept going on back and forth. And it seemed as if she thought that it was a stretch to call the abortion Holocaust a genocide. That the issue of abortion was not that bad. That's what she was saying. But after we kind of talked, she kind of opened up to the idea, like, yeah, if it's that many every single day, that's a lot. Then her boyfriend comes over and starts to try to kick back on what I'm convincing her of, and he's like, But what about rape? Like, you know, what if the girl is raped and she ends up conceiving? You know, she shouldn't have to carry that child. And she looked over at him, and it was crazy. I couldn't believe she did this. She goes, I'm keeping my baby. And in my mind, I was thinking, yeah, that's what I would say too. But I didn't think you would. That was awesome. And it was instinctive. It had nothing to do with what I said. It had nothing to do with his position, because obviously he was thinking that it would be okay if she wanted to terminate the child, had that been the case. But it was the way she responded that really stuck with me. It wasn't, hey, no, I'm going to go ahead and go through with the pregnancy. She said, no, I'm keeping my baby. Because see, what the pro-choicers do in the arguments with rape and incest is that they say that this is only the rapist's child. They do not weigh in to the science that half of that kid's genetic code is the mother's. That's her baby. It was not conceived on her consent, but that is her child. And that woman, that young college student, looked at her boyfriend and said, I am keeping my baby. That's her child. It was imposed on her. That is her child. And that's why abortion in rape and incest is wrong. It is a baby. It's her baby. And it should not be discriminated against because of the basis upon its conception. That's all I had to say on this topic, and we will chime in again soon for more.